Okay. Go to chapter 4. Types of business organization. Business organizations, the private sector. So for business organizations, it's divided into two. We have the private sector and the public sector. But we're starting with the private sector. There are several main forms of business organizations in the private sector, and they are: one, we have the sole trader, we have the partnership, private limited companies, public limited companies, franchises, joint ventures. So we're starting with sole traders. Sole trader is the most common form of business organization. It is a business owned and operated by just one person. The owner is the sole proprietor. So for sole trader, which is an example of private sector business, it is owned, controlled by an individual. That's why I call it sole trader. I think it's clear. Yes. So one of the reasons it is such a common form of organization is because there are so few legal requirements to set it up. There are only a few legal regulations which must be followed. So it's easy to start up. That's one of the reasons why sole trader is one of the most common type of business, because the setup, it's not that the paperwork is not that much. That's why they said the legal requirement is not that much. It's few. So anybody could set it up. You can just set a business or a sole trader business in front of your house. Nobody's going to ask you why. Mm-hmm. So the owner must register. So what are the requirements today? The owner must register with and send annual accounts to the government tax office, because you have to pay tax. But it is income tax that you have to pay. Two, the name of the business is significant. It needs to have a name, because the name will be used to register in the register of business names. So in other countries such as the UK, it is sufficient for the owner to put the business name on all of the business documents and to put a notice in the main office stating who owns the business. Because as a sole trader, you have unlimited liability. As a result of that, the business is just you. So it's allowed that whatever documents you have regarding the business, it can be on your name, on the name of the business. All your documents, yes, all your documents can be written on the name of the business. You have your name, yeah. You have your business name. Your business name can still be your name. That's what we're talking about, because it's a sole trader. Yes. Clear? In some industries, the sole trader must observe laws which apply to all businesses in that industry. This includes health and safety laws and obtaining a license, for example, to sell alcohol or operate a taxi. So these are what is needed when you're talking about becoming a sole trader. You need to obtain also a license. And whatever they do in that country, you have to apply to it too. So what are the benefits and disadvantages to sole traders of running their own business rather than having other people join in with them? If you wanted to set up your own business, why might you choose to create a sole trader organization? We can answer this question by looking at the following case study. So we have a case study there. Mike decided to start his own taxi business. He set up the business as a sole trader. These are the advantages to Mike of being a sole trader. One, there were a few legal regulations for him to worry about when he set up the business. So one of the reasons why it's easy for Mike to set up his business is that the paperwork, the legal requirements are not much. So it's easy for Mike to start up. Two, he is his own boss. He has complete control over his business, and there's no need to consult with or ask other people, others, before making decisions. He's his own boss. So Mike takes decisions solely. He doesn't have to wait for you. He doesn't have to wait for nobody before he takes decision. So that means decision making is solely by him. That's why he is his own boss. Yes. The third advantage is that he has freedom to choose his own holidays, hours of work, price to be charged, and whom to employ if he finds that he cannot do all the work by himself. So Mike, as a sole trader, might employ anybody to work with him. He has the right to choose anybody he feels like choosing. He has the right to charge any price he feels like charging, because it's his own business. He has the right to stop working today and work tomorrow. He has the right to choose the kind of holiday he wants. He has the right to decide when to work and when not to work. That is the point there. Is it clear? Yes. The next one. Mike has an incentive to work hard, as he is able to keep all of the profits after he pays tax. He does not have to share these profits. So it's also an incentive for Mike to work hard because he knows that whatever he does are all for him, aside paying the tax, the income tax. So every other thing is with him, which is good for him. I skip a point, I'll go back this, okay? Mike has close contact with his own customers. The personal satisfaction of knowing his regular customers and the ability to respond quickly to their needs and demands. So another advantage of being a sole trader is that you know your customers know you. And you have the flexibility to change to the kind of demand they want at any point in time.
What if the business was like expanding or something?
It could expand. It's still a sole trader. If it's expanding, it might employ people.
Yeah.
You can expand your business organically. It can expand it internally.
Yeah.
Do you understand? He does not have to give information about his business to anyone else other than the tax office. He enjoys complete secrecy in the business matters. So he keeps secrecy of everything about his business can be confidential. He doesn't have to tell anybody, except the financial statement that he has to present to the tax office because he has to pay tax. Clear? So what are the problems of being a sole trader? The first problem of being a sole trader, one, they said, I have no one to discuss business matters with as an because for Mike, one of the problems he will face is that he cannot discuss business matters with anybody. He's a sole trader. So whatever happens with the business is business. It is his own business. So he cannot discuss it with anybody.
So you have limited ideas.
Yes, you have limited ideas. So it becomes difficult for you. It's all about you. You cannot discuss it with anybody. You cannot share ideas with anyone.
Yes.
Did you get the first one there? The second problem is that it does not. It's Mike.
Yes.
Clear. The internet.
Oh, I thought that was not
No,
recording.
no, it's the internet.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, the third one. He said, I want to expand the business by buying other taxes, but I do not have enough money to do this. The source of finance of a sole trader are limited to the owner's savings, profit made by the business, and small bank loans. There are other owners who can put capital into the business. Banks are often reluctant to lend large amounts to businesses like mine. So here, this is Mike's problem. He wants to expand. He wants to have more taxes. But to have more taxes, he needs to finance them solely from his savings or from the profit he makes, from his retained profit. Nobody wants to give him money, except if they want to join the business. Do you get the point here? So sole traders do not have the financial capability to expand most of the time. And they find it difficult to raise finance externally. To source of finance externally, it's difficult. Banks do not want to lend them money because they are considered as high risk. So Mike might not be able to expand his business because he lacks the financial capability. If he needs to expand his business, if he needs to buy taxi, he has to buy it with his own personal savings or retained profit. And the retained profits are not that much. Do you get it? My business is likely to remain small because capital for expansion is so restricted. My business is unlikely to benefit from economies of scale. I cannot offer much training opportunities for my workers, future careers. So another problem about sole trader is that they lack economies of scale. Why? They cannot exploit economies of scale because they operate on a smaller scale. Do you understand? They operate on a smaller scale. That makes them not to be able to exploit economies of scale. Is it clear?
Yes.
The next one. If I am ill, there's no one who will take control of the business for me. I cannot pass on the business to my sons. When I die, the business would legally not exist any longer. This is because there is no continuity of the business after the death of the owner. So the last one about being a sole trader is that the death of the partner or the death of the owner of the business ends the business. So if the owner of the business dies, the business is over.
Even the son. You
Yeah,
can't like inherit it or
it's
something.
difficult. It's really difficult.
Yes.
I think it's clear. So that's about sole trader and the advantages and disadvantages. So we go to partnership. A partnership is a group of association of at least two people who agree to own and run a business together. In some countries such as India, there's a maximum limit of 20 people. The partners will contribute to the capital of the business, will usually have a say in the running of the business, and will share any profits made. Partnership. This occurs when two or more people come together, especially 2 to 20 people coming together to run a business with the aim of making profits. That is partnership. I think it's clear.
Yes.
So for partnership, all partners would have to contribute capital into running the business, and they have to share the profits to when it's made. Partnership can be set up very easily. Mike would just ask someone he knows to become his partner in the taxi business. This would be called a verbal agreement. Mike would be advised. So partnership can be set up very easily. It's easy to set up partnership because when it comes to partnership, you can easily call someone so that you can trust that, oh, let's have a partnership together. So setting it up. So Mike would advise to create a written agreement with a partner called a partnership agreement or partnership deed. So it's a written document. It's not compulsory, but I see it as important.
Yes.
So this deed of partners puts in place all the operations of the partnership business. The do's and the don'ts in the partnership business will be written in the partnership deed. So this is what the activity of the partnership will be guided upon.
Yes.
Do you get that?
Mhm.
So they said Mike offered his friend Gita the chance to become a partner in his taxi business. That's the case study anyway. They prepared the written partnership agreement, which is the partnership deed, which contains, so these are what the partnership deed will contain. One, the amount of capital invested by each partner, the amount of money invested by Gita, the amount of money invested by Mike, the tax to be undertaken by each partner. So what are your duties? What are your functions as a partner? The way in which the profit will be shared, that's share of profits, that's to be stated. How long the partnership would last. We call this partnership dissolution. What do I call it? Partnership dissolution. It has to be stated. Arrangement for absences, retirement, and how new partners could be admitted. And also, through the partnership deed, you have to state the methods or the procedures of accepting new partners. Procedures of accepting new partners. Yeah, because it's 2 to 20, and these are just two people here.
I can like.
So in the partnership deed, they have to, agree on the procedures of accepting new partners. I think it's clear. So we'll go to the advantages now. Advantages of partnership. One, more capital could now be invested into the business. So with partnership, because other partners will contribute capital into the business, that means you have additional capital employed into the business. Clear?
Yes.
The responsibilities are shared now. So there's share responsibility. So it's not just going to be you alone. You have your partner to share responsibility with. And that reduces the burden in decision making. Absences and holidays did not lead to major problems as one of the partners was always available. So for share of responsibility, it also means that I can always fill your role whenever you are not available, or you can fill my role whenever I'm not available.
Yes.
The shop will not be closed if you are not available, like when it is a sole trader. If the owner is not available, the shop is closed. But in partnership, if one partner is not available, the second partner might be available. So operations will not stop.
It's gonna like divert the share. Smart, right?
Share of what?
Share of the profit.
If the
like if the partner is absent or something, and the other partner like takes his place for a while, let's say a month.
Yeah, it depends on everything will be stated in the partnership deed. So we wouldn't know here.
Yeah.
So whatever they think might occur in the future regarding their operations or regarding their business, they would have stated it in the partnership deed.
Okay.
So that is what they are guided on. Clear? Both partners were motivated to work hard because they would both benefit from the profits. In addition, any losses made by the business would not be shared, would now be shared by the partners. So their partners are motivated because they know the more profit they make, the more share they get. And if it is lost too, they have to share the loss too.
Yes.
I think it's clear.
Yeah.
Although the tax business expanded and profits were being made, Gita became worried about what would happen if the business failed. Perhaps because so many new competitors were entering the market, Gita explained to Mike that although their partnership was working well, this form of business organization still had a number of disadvantages. So what are the problems of partnership? One, partners do not have limited liability. So that means the debt of the business can be transferred to the personal wealth of the owners. So if the business is in debt, the owners of the business are also in debt. Clear?
Yeah.
So the business did not have a separate legal identity. If one of the partners died, then the partnership would end. You get it? So the partnership will end.
Yeah.
The death of one partner will end the partnership business.
It's the same as the sole trader.
Yeah. Because there's no legal separate identity.
Oh, okay.
Partners can disagree on business decisions, and consulting all partners take time. There might be conflict of interest. And when there's conflict of interest, to put people together to sort it out, to reach compromise might be difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Most countries limit the number of partners to 20, and this means that business growth would be limited to the amount of capital that 20 people could invest. So because we said the minimum is 2, the maximum is 20. So that means the amount of capital that will be available to the business cannot exceed the 20 numbers of capital contributed into the business.
20 partners.
Yes.
20 partners, yeah.
So that means the amount of capital the amount of capital employed is limited.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that there are limited numbers of people that could be in the partnership. Is it clear?
So,
Ask it, okay? The business does not have separate, I talked about it. Partners can disagree, conflict, I talked about it. Yeah, if one of the partners is very inefficient or actually dishonest, then the other partners could suffer by losing money in the business. So the mistake of one partner will affect all partners. So the wrongdoing of one partner affects the whole partnership business. The wrongdoing of one partner affects the whole partnership business.
yeah.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
So that's about the disadvantages there. So Gita, okay. I think partnership is done. Then we have what we call limited partnerships, or limited partners. In some countries, it is possible to create, are you there?
Yeah.
In some countries, it is possible to create a limited liability partnership. The abbreviation for this new form of legal structure is LLP. It offers partners limited liability, but shares in such businesses cannot be bought and sold. This type of partnership is a separate legal unit, which still exists after a partner's death. Unlike ordinary partnership that ends with the death of one partner. For limited liability partner, here it means the partners have one of the partners or some of the partners have limited liability.
One of the partners.
Yeah, this could be as a result of them contributing alone without being part of operations. So they contribute capital into the business,
okay,
but they don't involve in the day-in running of they don't involve in running the business. They're not involved.
It's like ordinary share or no?
No, we call them dormant partners.
Dormant.
Yeah, or sleeping. They invested capital into the business, they contribute capital into the business, but whatever happens in the business, they are not part of it. So they are not taking decisions in the business, they are not working in the business, they only contribute capital.
They're not involved in it, right?
Yeah, so they are limited partners. So whatever happens to the business will not affect their personal work.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes,
Any question about partnership there?
I know.
So that's about sole trader and partnership.